NFL star hangs up his cleats to see what life is like living in a wheelchair.
Did you honestly do this?
I don't know.
Too heavy.
Will he be able to convert from cornerback to handicapped?
Oh, I'll be glad when you get your car retrofitted.
Or will living in the wheelchair grind his game to a screeching halt?
Whoa.
Find out tonight on 30 Days.
What the hell have I got myself into?
If there's one thing America loves, it's football. Our quarterbacks and linebackers are our modern-day gladiators. And every weekend we gather together to watch these massive warriors collide on the gridiron. The football field can be a dangerous place. And most of the time, guys just get a little banged up. But you never know where the next big collision will come from. In an instant, a player can go from competing on the field to living in a wheelchair by sustaining a life-changing spinal cord injury. And overnight, they join the 250,000 quadriplegic and paraplegic Americans living with paralysis. The Americans with Disabilities Act was big news 15 years ago, and it resulted in new ramps and elevators going up all over the country. But these days, unless tragedy strikes a big-time celebrity like Superman, Christopher Reeve, we've tended to sweep the issue under the carpet. But because of the recent debate over stem cell research, combined with the constant images of American soldiers returning home from Iraq and Afghanistan in wheelchairs, the disability issue has found itself back in the public eye. Even though it's in our headlines, how much do us able-bodied people really know about the day-to-day lives of people in wheelchairs? We'll find out when an NFL superstar gets a first-hand look at an athlete's worst fear by living in a wheelchair for the next 30 days. It wasn't easy finding a pro ball player who was willing to live in a wheelchair for 30 days. But we ended up with a guy with not just one, but 2 Super Bowl rings.
Oh, there we go, Zach! Hey, that was Vicky.
Ray Crockett is not your average American. For 14 years, Ray was a starting defensive back in the NFL.
My name is Ray Crockett. I'm a former professional football player. Played for the Denver Broncos, Detroit Lions, and the Kansas City Chiefs. I was a captain of 2 Super Bowl teams.
Ray and his wife April were high school sweethearts, and today they have 3 kids, Ray Jr., Daryl, and Joy.
Come on now, get your head in the game, baby.
Ray's professional career may be over, but he still gives his son Ray Jr. the full NFL treatment as coach of the GA Giants.
Tackle somebody, Ray!
Being a professional athlete isn't just about making millions and signing autographs, and Ray knows firsthand that serious injuries do happen. In 1991, Ray was on the field when teammate Mike Utley was attempting to throw a block and sustained a devastating injury that left him paralyzed from the chest down.
You see that happen, you have to think about, what if it was me?
When guys are paralyzed, you hear about them right after the injury, but you never know what happens to them. I can remember when Mike Utley was paralyzed, a lot of us wondered, what is he going to be able to do? What is his life going to be like? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out.
For the next 30 days, Ray will have to roll with these 3 rules. First, he'll be confined to a wheelchair. He won't be using his legs at all, but to avoid permanent side effects, he'll get to stretch them once a day. Second, Ray might have endured 14 punishing years in the NFL, but that's nothing compared to 30 days in a wheelchair rugby league. And third, Ray will be tagging along with patients at a local spinal cord rehabilitation program. Ray hasn't even begun his 30 days in a wheelchair, and he's already having second thoughts.
Ready for this? I think it's going to be difficult. There's going to be days where some of the stuff that I need to do, I'm going to have to find a way to do it.
Yeah, because I won't be here.
Yeah. And you got to figure out how I'm going to drive and, you know, all that stuff. I mean, I hope it doesn't affect me physically, but I don't know. I'm going to be honest, I'm a little scared.
Are you?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How you doing, Dr. Bruce?
Nice to meet you.
It's day 1, and Ray and April sit down with Dr. Bruce, a spinal cord injury specialist at the Baylor Rehabilitation Institute, who has some tips for Ray as he starts his journey.
If you don't move your legs for a month, well, you could develop a blood clot. But good stretching and so forth will help with that. The main thing, I think, is just appreciating the frustration that all your time looking at somebody's belt buckle.
Right.
If she's standing behind you, they will make eye contact with her. They'll act as if you're deaf and dumb. If we as a culture and society can help accept these people, that's the biggest part. The chair is a tool. It's how they get around. But from your standpoint, it'll be very difficult I would say impossible to truly remain as immobile as a person with a spinal cord injury does.
Ray's 30 days in a wheelchair is going to be most similar to what life is like for a paraplegic. But there's a big difference between being a paraplegic and being a quadriplegic, and it's all about which part of the spine is injured. The higher up the spine the injury, the more severe the paralysis will be. Paraplegics have fractured one of their thoracic vertebrae, which only affects the lower body, while a quadriplegic has damaged one of their 7 cervical vertebrae, and that means they've lost at least some use of all 4 limbs. Some higher-level quads can't even breathe without a respirator, while lower-level quads can generally retain some use of their arms.
Let's go run meet a few people. Ray Crockett.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Shannon Davis.
2 months ago, 34-year-old Shannon Davis was driving to her parents' house when a 3-car accident sent her car rolling off the road.
What Ray's trying to do is get a sense of what you go through in terms of some of the challenges, frustrations, the physical and the psychological.
It's completely different than any of your realities before. You know, before I had the accident, I was a runner, I played softball, I was very active, and never really had any major, issues. I mean, from day one, I just said, for some reason, I had the accident I had, and for some reason, I was put in the spot that I am, and if I don't have a positive outlook, and if I don't try, it's never going to get better.
Going around and watching the different patients, you become a little vulnerable only because you think that this could really happen to anybody.
After meeting a few patients, the moment finally arrives for Ray to start his 30 days in a wheelchair.
Get a chair for you here, man.
Oh.
Hi, Ray.
How you doing?
I'm Kenny.
Hi, Kenny.
Occupational therapist. Nice to meet you. Well, this is the chair. Go ahead and get in.
Whoa. I mean, a lot of thoughts come in your mind at that point. The first thing was, what the hell have I got myself into? I'm going to be in a wheelchair for 30 days.
Head over your knees. There you go.
Damn.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Just like that.
Quadriplegics have limited or no use of their upper bodies, so most of them use a power chair. But Ray will still have use of his Super Bowl shoulders, and he'll be putting them to the test by pushing a manual chair.
Whoa.
There you go.
Appreciate everything.
All right.
Thank you. Oh, my God.
It's gonna be sore.
Ooh, you got to be in shape for this. This right here is already difficult. I'm thinking to myself, this is real now. And I got a couple of stares from people before I could even get in the car. And immediately you start to think, is he looking at me because I'm in a wheelchair? I mean, it's just all kind of thoughts. You don't know. Holy shit.
Watch him out. All right.
As soon as Ray arrives back home, his entire family experiences how spinal cord injuries affect more than just the person in the chair.
I'm so used to me going like, hey, Dad, let's go out and play catch. Let's go out and go to the gym and work out. But now that he's going to be in a wheelchair, we're not going to be able to do any of that. There you go.
Whoa. There we go. This is crazy.
Ray's reaped the benefits of 14 years in the NFL, but just because he lives in a huge estate doesn't mean that it's wheelchair accessible.
Just making sure I can fit through all the angles I need to go through. Once I started to roll around the house and I started to look at the number of steps that I have in my house, and you actually have to think of your every move, your next move. Oh, okay. You have to get the house outfitted. You have to get around. Nope, can't fit. I'm looking out the window and it hits you. It's like, I can't just run out there. That would be difficult. Even though I've lived in this house for 7 years, once you're in a chair, you find yourself trying to find new ways to approach living in your own house. I'll be on the couch.
So you gonna sleep on the couch?
Yes, until you get a ramp or something there. You really have to start your whole train of thought over as to the way you lived before and the way you're gonna have to live now.
Have you tried getting in the shower yet? I think I'm gonna have to hold you.
Yeah, you are.
Ray Crockett, a Super Bowl winning football player, is 2 days into his 30 days in a wheelchair, and he's already realizing why the morning routines for spinal cord injury patients take so long.
Now lean back.
Oh, Lord.
Like that.
I can't hold you. You're too heavy. Lean
Wait.
back.
Okay.
All right. I got you.
All right. You sure?
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Alright, everything takes longer when you have a disability because you're just not capable of doing it. So it was a little frustrating because when you are someone who's very independent like I am, and all of a sudden you're in this chair, you feel dependent. This is just a second day and I'm already like, hell no. But when you have to do it, you have to do it.
With Ray finally ready, April drives him to Baylor to visit Shannon, the patient he met on his first day. After nearly 2 months in rehab, Shannon's just a few weeks away from going home. But first, she needs to build up her strength and coordination.
So we're teaching you how to...
get up from laying.
Okay.
I don't quite have the strength to wiggle up on my elbows.
So we use loops to help her get up because you don't necessarily have abs to help lift yourself up. So we got to find a new way to help her be able to be as independent as possible and coming from a flat to a sitting position.
When I discharge, I will have these loops on my bed, so hopefully I can be a little more independent and not have to yell for mom every 5 minutes.
So let's work on that opposite sock, okay?
As an able-bodied person, you don't really think about what most people with spinal cord injuries have to go through to just get in and out of the bed. To see how difficult it was for her just to lift her own body weight up.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Yay! I just started working on socks this morning.
Maybe we'll try shoes tomorrow.
Yeah, it only took 10 minutes to get one sock on this morning.
That's good, first time.
It was real difficult to watch. It was almost a certain feeling if I couldn't do it. I couldn't be in that position. Oh.
Nice job. Getting real good now.
It's day 3, and April is learning what it's like to go from wife to caregiver.
I was his chauffeur for the day. We had his first lunching business meeting that he had. Could not do my normal stuff. We did not know how long his business meetings were going to last, so I was basically on call.
You didn't give enough room, dog. No, you have to put the chair up there.
Okay.
Pull the truck up.
This is all new to me.
All right, I'm
All
saying
right.
pull the truck up. And,
She's not accustomed to helping me as much as she has, and it's an inconvenience.
Are you closer now?
honey, pull out so that the chair can sit flat on the road.
That's what I was asking you, bro.
Yeah, so I'm saying pull out and then bag up.
That's what I was asking you.
I had no, okay, now just
You
pull it
said
straight
pull
back.
closer to the curb. That's what I asked you. Did you want it down or up? You said up.
Okay, my bad.
Yes, you did.
It's not like you can just up and go like I'm accustomed to doing. You actually have to prepare yourself for your every move. It was frustrating.
Oh, I'll be glad when you get your car retrofitted.
Me too.
I'm tired of being your taxi service.
Me too. Peace.
Goodbye.
I call you in 55.
I might not answer the phone. You might have to stroll home.
All right, I'll find a way.
The focus today that we wanted to talk about was the impact of spinal cord injury on the family.
Ray is back at Baylor joining the rehab patients for their weekly group therapy.
We're just going to start by introducing yourself.
Hello everybody, I'm Matt Poole. I've been C5 quadriplegic for about 15 years now.
My name is Shannon Davis. I was in a car accident August 25th, and I'm a C6, C7 level injury.
Hi, my name is John Dixon. I have a C6 level injury. I had a motorcycle wreck. I hit the ground 110 miles an hour, and I'm quadriplegic because of it. This is my wife, Shelley, and this is my baby daughter, Emma. I had her just a month after my accident.
It's not what we planned. You know, it was hard for him that he couldn't hold the baby whenever he wanted to, and that was really hard for both of us. Things are getting better, and now she just climbs up on his lap and holds on to his shirt, and he wheels through the house, so we're getting there. The first year is the hardest.
It was interesting to hear how everyone around that person with the injury has to change. When you're talking about a spinal cord injury, it doesn't only affect you.
When dealing with someone who's physically limited and all of a sudden everybody in the family has to lend a hand every now and then, you know, it gets old. You got to do it. But as the days go by, things change. You realize it's not the end of the world. And before you know it, you're living independently. You're doing as much as you possibly can for yourself, and you're proud of yourself.
It's day 4, and Ray's finally achieving a small measure of freedom by getting his house retrofitted for a wheelchair.
Yeah, you have to be kind of strong, but I can do it. Yeah.
Making your home wheelchair accessible sure ain't cheap. Widening doorways and installing ramps can set you back up to $50,000.
I know my situation is totally different than 99% of anyone that's ever been disabled, because financially they don't have the ability to just go retrofit everything overnight. So that adds to the struggle.
What's up, baby?
Not much, sir.
Come on in.
Yes, sir.
Now that Ray's house is set up with ramps, Matt Poole, the counselor from the support group, stops by to check out his new digs.
I see some stuff I'm interested in right here. Tell me about it.
This is the game room. Crystals I won, trophies I won, stuff like that.
See, I didn't even feel like doing the internet search when I was like, I can just ask you.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Now, you got the bathroom all set up. Yeah, it's nice to have room. Some of the older houses, you know, people move into and got to make modifications, do the hallways and the cabinets and all that stuff. But I've been blessed. I could have had it way worse, I believe.
Right.
When I swung off that rope off of a 20-foot cliff into a blue hole that was supposed to be just fine for me to land in, but I ended up in falling 30 feet, landing in 8 inches of water in the creek bed, I'm pretty thankful I didn't have a head injury.
From a rope, like a swinging rope?
I was 17 years old. I swing out, and when I let go of the rope, it kind of real fast right through my leg, and it just tossed me. Opened my eyes, green blur. I thought I was dead. Then my friend pulled me out of the water. I knew, though, I was paralyzed.
Right.
And that's when I was just like, man, I'm messed up. I'm messed up. But I got something I want to show you here.
Wow.
Spin if you want.
Man.
Matt shows Ray his other set of wheels, and together they head to his house in his pimped-out, quad-friendly ride.
Matt doesn't have complete use of his hands, but he can use his arms. So he basically drove with his forearms and his wrist. Amazingly, I was really comfortable. I felt he was in total control.
You get out of there all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Whoa.
It's very inaccessible at Mom's house. Keep on. Keep on. Yes, sir. Look, Ray, I want to show you the difference between a modern accessible house like they set yours up with to a house that was built in the 60s. Nothing's wide enough in the house.
Right, so you roll.
So I roll into everything. See? Ain't no room, is there?
Nope.
Man, that's just kind of a pain in the ass when you don't have enough room in your bathroom.
It was hard for me to see that if he just had a little bit more square footage, how much easier his life could be.
Do you honestly think that if you were to get hurt and break your back and be a paraplegic, could you honestly do this? And continue with your families, same ways, keep your same friends. Do you think everything would pretty much be the same?
That's the unknown. Who knows? Would I want to? No. It's not, but I could handle it just because I wouldn't have a choice. Of course, I could never feel what a quad feels. Never. But if I'm a quad like you, I can make it.
Yeah.
But I've seen some other quads that I don't know.
It'd be rough, wouldn't it?
It'd be
real rough.
Yeah, it'd be rough.
I ask myself that sometimes. I see someone who's broken their neck just one vertebrae higher, which one vertebrae higher is about an inch or two worth of nerves that go out to your limbs higher that you're going to lose. And I'm always like, could I really go another level? Could I have done it? And I'm like, yeah, man, could do it.
It's you know, it's a fear thing. And once you've overcome that fear, you like, maybe it ain't that bad. Yeah.
Exactly. Besides just being educated on it, there's not much more you can do.
There's nothing different about it other than it has the hand controls.
Ray Crockett is 10 days into his month in a wheelchair, and today he's on the road learning how to drive with hand controls.
It's just bringing it down towards my leg.
And that presses the gas down.
Yeah.
Someone with a spinal cord injury can't press foot pedals, so the gas and the brakes are operated with a lever next to the steering wheel.
And then to apply the brake, you just push it forward.
I can't use my phone.
No, and you can't eat either.
Yeah, so you have to really be focused on what you're doing.
Yeah. Nicely done. Very nicely done.
Thank you.
After passing his driving test with flying colors, Ray's back behind the wheel of his own souped-up SUV. Just retrofitting a car with hand controls isn't that expensive, but if you want to lower the floor or add a wheelchair lift, it can end up costing more than the car itself.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
I'm driving with my hands. Gas, brake, yeah, steer. I didn't think it would be as easy as it turned out to be. It's good to be independent again. It's good to be
back mobile and being able to move when you want to move.
As an NFL star, Ray thought football was a rough sport, but he's about to get initiated into something truly hardcore: quad rugby. Wheelchair rugby started in Canada in the 1970s and was specifically designed for all levels of quadriplegics. Whether a quad has good use of their shoulders and wrists or almost no movement in their upper body, there's a position they can play. And because the sport includes all quads, it's become wildly popular. Ray is the latest recruit of the Texas Stampede. All the players are world-class athletes, including the team's star player, Mark Zupan. And coach James Gumbert has been selected to coach the 2008 U.S. Paralympic team.
You get strapped in, you get a weight belt so that you won't fall out of the wheelchair, and it's like an armored car, actually.
All right, Ray, here's the deal. I want you to push as hard as you can towards Mark. Head on.
It's like wheelchairs on steroids. I mean, the guys actually try to knock you over while they're trying to get the ball out of your hand. You almost forgot that they were injured.
These guys have overcome the injury to being physically strong athletes. So what kind of training do you actually do?
I'm in the gym 4 days a week, just
Really?
lifting. We'll push 10, 15 miles just outside of rugby. You're just on the track, put your time in.
During a game, if both teams hit 40, you've pushed 6 miles during a game. And you know, you do that five times in a weekend. You gotta be in good shape, so push a lot.
I'll tell you, my shoulders are burning right now.
You'll feel it tomorrow morning, you'll wake up and you'll be like,
See, that's the thing, is that we don't necessarily work out for endurance. Mark really opened my eyes to all the things that you can do. It waived all of my thoughts and all of my inhibitions about what I could do from a chair.
Scott and Mark are among the best quad rugby players in the world, but there's a whole group of disabled super jocks excelling at sports you would never expect. And believe it or not, they're giving able-bodied athletes a run for their money. Marlon Shirley's one of the fastest runners in the world. He's won countless gold medals. He's run the 100 meters in 11 seconds, and he's done it all with only one leg.
Hey, Marlon.
Oh, hey, Morgan, how you doing?
How are you, brother?
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man. Thanks for coming out today. So how many world records do you have right now?
Well, I own the world record in the 100-meter dash, 200, and the long jump. I've been the Paralympic and world champion since 2000.
Do you feel like you should be able to have the opportunity to compete against the athletes at the regular Olympics?
I think any athlete should have an opportunity to do anything. And I have to be as fit, if not more fit, and present myself at a level that's greater than any other Olympian would, with a lot of hurdles. And I'm not a hurdler either.
I thought I'd challenge Marlon to a 100-meter race. See, I ran a bit of track myself back in the day, so I wanted to see how I would stack up against this Paralympian champ.
All right, run us your marks. That means you get ready to run.
That means I'm getting ready.
Set.
I almost had you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Couldn't see.
You only had me by 30 yards, maybe 40.
Inspired by the athleticism of the Texas Stampede, Ray starts pumping some iron to build up his strength while he's in the chair.
I was thinking I wasn't supposed to be strong, that I'm supposed to sit in a wheelchair and confined to being weak. It's actually the opposite. You start to realize what are the different things that I can do. And it actually becomes not even about the chair anymore. It just becomes about you, about how do you want to be viewed? How do you want to live your life?
CROCKETT!
It's day 17, and Matt and his friend Luke take Ray to the gun range to shoot off a little steam.
Look at all these people looking at us like, oh my God, dude, I think I'm going somewhere else to shoot. I got it.
I would never imagine a quad going into a gun range, but just seeing Matt actually handle the gun and start shooting was another example of Matt just saying, I can do anything I want to do. Oh, that's right. You almost served it up. You came close.
And they let me shoot.
With their clips emptied, Ray heads to lunch with Matt and Luke. Luke was there when Matt broke his neck, and it's created a lifelong bond between them.
You were with Matt when the accident happened. What was your fear of seeing Matt again? Now he's a quad.
We didn't talk much after that.
Right, because
I think we had
thing.
about 2 years there that we didn't.
So you didn't talk for 2 years?
I don't think I ever really adjusted until I noticed, how he started, getting to where he's at now. He's come a long way from when it happened. I was the only one that he would see at the hospital. I went back there and they had them screws in his head, like that, or whatever the hell it was, and a weight pulling his head up out of his neck as much as they could. I got another one. That was probably the toughest part, seeing that.
But me and Luke, we're on the same page as far as, like, I don't think he ever felt guilty or thought, man, maybe it's my fault. I shouldn't have drove down there, because we did stuff like this every day.
I admit, when I first got in the chair, I had a true fear of what I would feel or how I would react hanging around quads.
It's actually how I probably lost a lot of friends. Because around that age, like you said,
Yeah, 17, 18 is scary.
It scared people off. But then again, at the same time, I ask myself, I'm like, hey, you know what I bounced?
Right.
Would I? I really don't know. I don't know. A lot of people can't deal with it, so they choose not to. Every night, it was like, I'm gonna wake up in the morning and this dream's gonna be over. I think a lot of people probably think that way. But reality stays with you,
Ray's almost 3 weeks into his 30 days living in a wheelchair, and he's back at Baylor to visit Shannon, who's in her final week of rehab and preparing for her return home.
So Thursday's the big day.
Mm-hmm. It's scary. I've worked with Bobby and Leslie for 2 months now, and most importantly, they let me try until I say help. Whereas my parents get itchy hands and want to jump in.
Picking you up.
Picking me up, and it's going to be harder for me to continue to progress.
I'm gonna be honest, I would pick you up.
Yeah, but I have to go through this to get stronger, to be able to do it for myself. So it's easier on all of us.
My job is to make her independent, not to teach her how to have help. Shannon has 100% potential to be independent in everything, and so she just needs that opportunity to keep building the strength, and that's really all it is at this point.
Technique-wise, strength-wise, I'm almost there.
For the first time, I really felt good for Shannon. She didn't do great, but I saw a sense of achievement, of her feeling, hey, I can do this.
It's day 22, and Matt takes Ray to a local bar to meet his girlfriend, Jessica.
Ah, what's up, baby? Everything.
How you doing?
Jessica. Jessica's Ray Crockett.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
I pulled out.
Do you want me to go in front of you?
No, I'm gonna have to back in. I'm gonna have to turn around.
Excuse, how you doing? I'm good.
I've got it made. I'm blessed. I got a kick-ass job. I've got plethora of beautiful friends that are willing to do almost anything for me.
I didn't look at the wheelchairs, oh, well, that's going to put a damper on things. It's just something else that goes along with living. He's normal to me. But it's frustrating and it's hard because he wants to be able to do his own thing, and I'm like, well, if I do it, it'll be quicker.
If I'm not fast enough, it's like, move and get out of the way.
But he wants to do it on his own at his own pace because he still wants to feel like he's independent and can do for himself.
To this day, I'm still like, I don't know if I can burden her by going, babe, let's get married, and I really need you to be there every single morning.
What do you
think? Do you think I'm a burden?
I think that's an excuse. He gets frustrated.
Right.
And I'm like, it could be worse. You could have not made it. Period.
Okay, from sexual standpoint.
That's like the biggest question. Am I going to be able to
I
sex?
asked that right off the top.
But could you imagine not being able to? That would be rough.
Well, that would be...
Not just for you, but good luck having a mate. But, of course, face the fact, I'm going to be on bottom. Live with it. And I'll let them know, look, brother, you go pick up them pretty little blue pills, and you pop one of those. Give me about 15 minutes, and it's on.
It's day 25, and after a week of working out, Ray's pumped up for another go-around with Coach Gumby and the Texas Stampede.
You're going to start out over here. It's a sprint for 12 minutes.
How many minutes?
Until he says stop, so push your ass on. Let's go. Ray, you're getting beat by a bunch of guys in wheelchairs. Please, tell me those 2 Super Bowls you can push harder than this.
They were kicking my ass, to say the least. It was kind of embarrassing, to be honest.
So I'm going to put you out here on the court and let you play a little bit, okay? Go! Ray, push! Get him, Ray! Come on, Ray! You're killing me, Ray! Ray, please tell me you got more than that.
actually a little better this time. I was actually trying to make it through the game, but that goes to show that if you don't work out for a certain sport, if you're not in shape for that sport, it doesn't matter who you are, they can beat you.
Yeah. I'm glad you came out.
Man, I had the ball. See me swing. Well, here's to the season.
14 years in the NFL taught Ray a little something about team camaraderie, so he feels right at home grabbing a cold one after practice at the local watering hole.
Part of what we do, we change these guys' lives. You see them going from, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I don't know how I'm going to take care of myself. You see them go from that to being able to live a life that they just didn't think they could do before.
The whole thing is, for as many doors that were closed when I got injured, just as many have been open, just in a different world. And it wasn't over.
First thing they say when I tell them, I couldn't do it. And I'm like,
Didn't
you
have a
could.
choice.
Yeah, you could if you didn't have a choice. So now, yeah, so now you go past I couldn't do it to how do you actually do it.
That's right. You know, none of us asked to be part of this fraternity.
Got done eating. I'm like, huh.
You know, but we all join it. You probably will join it.
Right.
Your hearing may go bad. Eyesight may go worse.
Yeah.
Arthritis from all them bad hits in football.
Exactly.
Everybody joins our club. Some join it early, others join it late.
Ray's almost at the end of his 30-day journey, and it's time to say farewell to Shannon, who's heading home today.
Hey, you.
Hey.
This is my mom, so you haven't met her.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Lola Davis. It's nice to meet you.
Very nice.
We
You have
got
a
sucked in the
wonderful
taxi.
daughter. So how was transferring from the bed this morning? Better?
Yeah, you feel a lot more comfortable, you know, as you get stronger and understand where you need to be and what to do.
For you to be the way you've been, it's just been incredible. When I get home, I always think about when I'm tired, don't want to do it, I'm going, well, I can see you doing it. I can see Matthew doing it.
Yeah.
You know? So it definitely was a big help for me.
Thank you.
You've taught me so much. When you're around people like Shannon that are in that situation and they still have such a positive outlook on life, it eased my fears. She was a definite inspiration for me.
Keep up your hard-headedness. It's going to get you far.
Yeah.
It's just the second chapter of all this business.
And I'm going to miss you guys.
I know. We'll miss you too.
There's no crying in rehab.
Yes, there is, apparently.
I'm glad to see you go, but I hate to see you leave.
You come back and visit us if
I
there's
will.
anything you need or anywhere we can help you.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Can't wait to see your progress.
I know.
You better email me. Let me
I
know the
will.
new things you do.
I will.
Yeah? It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
When you interact with these people, then emotions come into play. You can't hide it, you can't ignore it. So, of course, I am growing. Emotionally, mentally, physically, the whole nine. I'm growing as a person, period.
It's the final night of Ray's 30 days, and before he gets out of his wheelchair, he shares a little of his quad rugby glory with his family.
That's why I've been going the last 2 weeks.
You actually played?
Played, yeah. I played at practice 2 weeks, bro. I was going to throw the ball, and he came in just like this dude did. Watch. Bam! You see that?
Oh, my God.
Exactly. Most people that play, they
Was
can't
he
do it.
born
Legs
like that?
come.
A lot of them don't want you to ask them stuff.
No, that's
No,
just
they
the
want you
opposite,
to.
Mom. Just the opposite.
I'd be scared of hurting their feelings.
You actually hurt their feelings when you don't ask, because you treat them different then. Like if you don't say nothing to them, you hurt their feelings worse. They would rather you ask than assume.
It's day 30, and the time has finally arrived for Ray to stand on his own 2 feet.
So this is it?
This is it. I think it's very valuable to other people when you share with them what you've been through. I don't have to tell you that I know it's valuable to you.
You learn so much, not only about yourself, but about people that are, quote unquote, what we consider different, but they're really not different.
Exactly right.
They just live differently, but they're not different. They're the same people.
You want to try to get up? Let's kind of spot you and make sure you don't do anything totally crazy.
All right. Boom. It's definitely nice to look eye to eye, face to face. It's a good feeling, I will say. It's a good feeling.
It's been a pleasure to meet you and to work with you on it.
Man. Oh, man. There will be a part of me that will always remember the chair. I will always remember the obstacles, struggles. I will always remember all of that stuff. I think it taught me a lot.
Before he heads home to see his family, Ray stops by to thank someone he now considers a true friend.
What up, baby?
What's happening, Captain? Look at you, look at you.
Without Matt, I just honestly don't think I could have done this.
Man, I got out today.
Today's the day. Kind of happy, ain't you? If I could, I would too.
Getting to know him and seeing life through his eyes and seeing his perspective on disabled people and able-bodied people.
It was quite an experience, wasn't it?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. Getting ready to play the Super Bowl and all that, that was easy. I wouldn't have been able to do this without meeting you.
I made it a point. If I could help someone figure out how to start their life like this, then that's what I'll do. It's kind of a way of giving back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I go to Baylor, to continue to volunteer, just to talk to new patients, because, you know what I'm saying, they had no idea what's happening. When I was there, I didn't have nobody to show me the ropes. If I was chosen to be in this chair to show others that it's not that bad and that you can do it, so be it. Don't get me wrong, there's days I shut my door and I turn my tube on and I'm just like, it sure would be nice to do something else for change, you know what I mean? You know, but you can't stay depressed. If you want to succeed, you cannot be a negative influence on anybody or be depressed. I had a lot of fun with your brother Ray.
You know that,
you know
I
what I'm saying?
definitely did,
And
definitely.
I can't tell you how much respect you've gained from me for experience, something like we go through.
Look, ditto. Yo, dude.
I do feel from what I've gone through, I know I've grown as a person, I know I've grown emotionally.
This is probably going to help me more so than just from the wheelchair standpoint, but in life in general as I move forward. The things that us able-bodied people worry about and we stress about are so trivial. The things, the wheelchair community, the things that they have to worry about and they stress about on a day-to-day basis are things they can't control.
It kind of feels funny though.
Yeah. I will admit it was definitely was worthwhile doing. It'd be something to think about for sure. Can I put myself in their shoes? No. But if nothing else comes out of this, I would definitely view life differently.